Hi, thanks for checking out my channel. Today there's something new that I have to work on. It wasn't that long ago that I had to work on the dishwasher that was on the right, which I got a video to that. If you want to click the link, I'll try to post it in here so you can go check out what I had to do to fix that. However, now I'm going to address a problem that we have with our oven. And that is that it's been taking just recently a long time to heat up. Now the cooktop works fine, all the burners come on and do what they're supposed to. However, it's just the oven I want to target. What I understand by reading a little bit about these is it could be a gas safety valve possibly, or it could be an igniter, or it could be the control panel itself that's not having a problem. But we're going to look into it and see what we can find. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is pull the racks out. And then want to see what it's going to take to get this off. And it looks like I've got a couple of screws that are in the back that are flatheads. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen those. Now with those two screws loose, I believe this just goes back, kind of then lift it up, and then it'll come out. As I'm trying to access the igniter, the hot surface igniter, because I want to see if it's working or not. So I've got this screw here, this screw, then it looks like a nut here to take this heat shield off. Okay, now that I have the three screws that have not only hex head, but they also have Robert's head that's recessed in the center. So there's two ways to get them out. And then this nut here. And now that I have those removed, I can lift this up, and there's a couple tabs in the back, and I just slide it forward. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the oven, and I'm going to watch the igniter get hot and see if it ignites the flame like it should. So go ahead and put it on bake. Put it up on 400, and right now I'm taking a look at the igniter, and I'm seeing, I hear the control panel send voltage to a switch that turned the switch on, and now I'm looking at the igniter inside, and the igniter is not turning a white, but it is turning a red. It's still not white hot, but it's hot. It's an orangish hot. So I think that the igniter might be our issue, because that should get to a real white, bright hot right away, and it should only take a few seconds to do so. So I think I've pretty much solved the problem of why it's been acting the way it has. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the same thing. You can see it just ignited the gas, but it took way too long. Looks like I'm going to have to order a new, what they call a bar igniter, or a hot surface igniter. Looks like I'm going to have to get one for the oven to make the oven work. There's a few more screws that need to be taken out. This one here, and what I'm doing now is taking out the burner tube. So I'll pull that screw out. Now the burner tube is free. Okay, so on this, what I've done is taken the couple screws that hold the igniter off and set them off to the side. That'll allow this bar to come out now. Now, you don't necessarily need to take it out. I just wanted to do some cleaning in here, so I want to get that out of my way. Now what I've done is I've removed the drawer from underneath the stove so I can access the control valve. Now you can see where the two wires come from top of the stove right there. These two wires. One of them goes to this gas valve. Okay, you're going to want to remove both these wires that are on the top. And I've already removed it from the plug that comes through the bulkhead side of this stove. Okay, as you can see here, this has a piggyback style spade that is connected to one of the wires that stays on the stove. The other one is connected to the unit itself that we want to take out, the igniter. So what you're going to do is pull this apart. Let me block your view here. And that's what you're going to be left with. And the wire that you're going to want to feed up through for the igniter is this one here. Now that I have them disconnected, I'm going to take the wire that does not have the piggyback spade. I'm going to feed it through this silicone sleeve. So now the plug is completely loose from the control valve, and all the wires that are loose, other than the one that has the piggyback spade, can be fed up through the stove to the igniter, and the igniter can come up out of the top. Okay, so the igniter's loose, so all we're going to do is just go ahead and pull this up through. You can see there's one of the wires that's wanting to hang up a little bit underneath. And there we go. So there's your igniter. It's completely disconnected. Okay, so I checked around and my local parts store has the igniter that I need for about $50. I think it's about $56 plus tax. And I checked a couple other popular appliance sites and they all had them for about $55. And guess what? Amazon has them by Frigidaire for $19.75. But I have Amazon Prime. So not only did I buy this, and I already had free shipping, I went ahead and paid an extra $4, and I have a total of $24.75, and I'm getting it overnighted. So I'll have that here tomorrow, and we'll go ahead and start the install. Ooh, it looks like UPS is here with my part. Let's check that out real quick. That looks like it's here. How you doing?
All right, how you doing?
Good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so the package looks like it came for the parts that are in the that are needed for the dishwasher. I'm sorry. Looks like the parts came for the stove. So let's take a look at those. All right, so the package came in from UPS. There it is. And here's the old igniter. I want to take a look at this new one and see how it compares. And looks like we got a box here. It's Electrolux. And let's see here. That's carded. And yeah, there's a couple wire nuts fell out right away. And here's the igniter. Let's take a peek. I'm going to look here and make sure these match up okay. Look pretty good. We're going to be cutting all of these wires on the new one and on the old one. The reason we cut them on the old one is so we can use the correct connectors to connect to the gas valve and the plug that goes to the control. The reason that I'm going to cut the new one is because this is a lot of wire. Now, do I want all that extra wire? Not necessarily. But I do want some extra wire because when you make the junction to the new connectors, it's going to make it to where it won't route directly. It's going to have to go up, you know, into the connector and then out. So what I normally do is I line them up like this, and then I take and I'll move this back, and now I'll have enough that I can cut these wires. Okay, so you can see that I've cut the wires on the new igniter. I used the old heat sleeves off of the old igniter because I like the idea of those being on there to help protect it from the bend that it has to make. And now I've stripped them back, and all I've got to do now is putting them side by side and put the wire nut on them. Okay, so there you go. I've got the wire nuts holding the old wires with the connectors to the new igniter. Now all I have to do is go underneath, and we need to reinstall this. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is feed these wires down and through the access hole that's down below. Okay, so I've got all the wires routed down through, and the clearance, although tight, it's set up to where it's pretty much free of any problems. So now what I've got to do is, if you remember, I showed you this saddle connector here. I'm going to hook that back together. Let me do that real quick. I know that your view's being blocked. Okay, so that saddle connection is reconnected now. So the first connector is going to be this one here, which is a larger spade connector. That will go on this back connector here, or the back spade, and then I'll slide that silicone boot down over it. Now this is a smaller one, so I'll slide the smaller one now down over top of that connector. And now that that's connected, I'll slide this silicone boot. I have to twist it slightly also. I'll slide that down over the connectors. So both of those are now connected. I'll go ahead and connect this connector just like that. So everything's back together now. And I'm going to go up top and connect the igniter to the burner tube. Okay, so now we're back inside the oven, and I've got the wiring all straightened out down below. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to line the igniter back up with the couple holes that are provided not only on the bracket, but then on the bracket that's hooked to the burner tube. And I want to get those started just a little bit. Alright, let me go ahead and tighten these now. There's one. And there's two. Okay, so now I have everything hooked back up. I've got the oven plugged back in. I have it pushed back into its area. And I'm going to try it out. Okay, let's go ahead and set it on bake and put it up to 375. Okay, so it clicked. It just turned on the solenoid to send power to the igniter. I can already tell that it's glowing faster than the old one. It is definitely getting brighter than the old one. And that's it. It ignited it. Looks like that this is working. All I got to do is button this back up. Okay, the oven's still a little bit warm. Okay, the oven's still a little bit warm, but I'm going to slide on the flame spreader first, which there's a couple tabs in the back. It goes into the back of the oven. Then it slides down. There's a little stud that it crosses over. Ow! There's a little stud right there that it goes over top of. Okay, so the shield's in place. I just got to put all the fastening hardware to hold it in place, which is one nut and a couple screws. So let me do that real quick. Okay, so now I'm going to put in the pan, and this is the part that everything drips on. Kind of a wiggle around type deal. You slide that in first, and then there's a couple holes in the back that require a couple large screws. Okay, so that's all hooked back up. Alright, so I got it running. Set it on 350, and everything seems to be working out alright. It's getting warm inside there. So I hope this helps you out. I appreciate you watching my videos, and if there's something else you'd like to see, just let me know. Send me a message. Click like, thumbs up, whatever, subscribe. I appreciate it, and I'll try to get something back on here for you to learn a little bit more. Thanks. Bye.